You don't tell me what to do. That ain't the business phone. I need a charger for your computer. You should tell people to leave the chargers.
Well, I thought we had one, but I forgot we sold the computer that I was using the charger for last time.
It's not one. There was one at the flea market. Did you not grab it?
The blue one?
Yeah.
You have a blue one? No, I probably didn't grab it.
Yeah, it was at the flea market. Dr. TZ was first. Peter coming in with a solid second. The Tired Techie, how are you? Lynn coming in with a solid third. And we'll probably see Tim here in about 3 seconds. He's probably out chasing forest fires. Only you can prevent forest fires. Hey, what's up, Flash Repair? How's it going? Hey
there, this is Micah B&C.
This is Micah.
The laptop that we're working on. I was calling to let you know that I actually need the charger for it. I got it formatted, and I was getting ready to test it out and see if it would mess up the way it did, and the battery went dead on me. I thought I had a charger here, but I think we sold the computer that we had the charger for. Okay, sounds. Yeah, we're gonna be here till 7. Yep. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Bye.
Okay, so we have an iPhone 6. I got some new toys in. I got the Fixin' Tools board holders. These things are pretty well made. Didn't realize they had a full metal backing and stuff. Pretty heavy. Doesn't move around on you. We also have. We're doing UK rules. Aw, damn! Tim was really late. We also have these special little guys here. These are the. I don't know if I can find the writing. There it is. The 3D stencils. Woohoo! So these are really thick. On one side they have square punched holes, and then on the other side they have cutouts for the ICs to sit down inside of them. I've already tested it out on Mason, and it works really well. I am very pleased with it. I'm trying to fix the camera here. It pleases me. Where's the packing tape? What have you done with the packing tape? Micah?
Oh, it's over here, Chris.
I need the packing tape, Micah.
It's up your butt.
It's not in my butt, Micah.
Chris,
not at all.
It's in your butt.
Nope.
Look here, Chris. Here's in your butt.
Oh. Well, hot damn. Good thing it wasn't in your mom's butt. We'd never find it.
Oh! Look, you got taped his camera down.
Yep. These high quality Type-C mounts, man.
$500 camera. Get taped down.
Tape down the mount. $20 microphone. Tape it to my monitor.
That's acceptable.
You're not.
You don't accept it.
Your whole mother is not acceptable.
Shit. Shit.
Raging some? Raging Bone Man? Never heard of that.
Raging Boner.
Raging Boner Man. Teddy! Alright, so let's take off this SIM tray. So I was looking at it, and you can see it doesn't see the SIM at all. I don't think this has anything to do with baseband, because this pin here is completely loose because they've broken it in the plastic. It's still soldered, but I don't know if it's making connection with the actual pad. This whole front end is kind of broken where they pried on it. It looks like somebody ran a tool across it. I actually had to bend these back because when I opened it, this was like bent up and over top of the connector, and then when the SIM tray would go in, this was bent down so it wasn't disconnecting to tell the phone, hey, the SIM card's in. So I have a feeling that this port is our issue. Rehot CPU? No, I'm good.
Yes.
So we're going to take the SIM tray off and we're going to replace it.
And rehot.
So to take the SIM tray off, you have to find what heat works for you. You got to find that fine balance between melting plastic and melting solder. The plastic on most of these is fiberglass reinforced, so it does take a little more heat than your normal plastic, but it still will bubble up if you get it hot enough. So you want to be fairly careful with it. The main thing to concentrate here is these pins in the center. They take considerably longer to heat up than the outside legs. The outside legs melt fairly quickly compared to the center. So we're just going to keep heating this up until it melts. What's up, Lisa? What?
Don't talk to me, Chris.
I'll talk to you if I want, Micah.
Don't talk to me.
May have to increase my heat a little bit. With these coins sitting on here, it soaks up quite a bit of the heat. Alright, we got some separation now. Okay, it's starting to come off the board. Just need to heat these inside pads and it should come up.
Heat up them insides.
Okay, here it comes. And it's all. Alright, so we're going to let that cool off for a second. Since we just put a lot of heat on the board, I want to give the board time to cool off. What's up, Brandon? Jonathan, what is cheap? That's the question. What is cheap? I mean, I think that my ultrasonic for the size and the features being brand new was cheap. It was $400. But if you're talking cheap, like $100, you're gonna have to buy something used. That's what I did. My first Crest, I paid like I think $200 for it. It was a used Crest ultrasonic. It worked well. It just didn't have all the features. Where's your B&C shirt? The girlfriend has still not mailed them. They're sitting at my house on my ottoman. We do have them all in though.
Those ones in the hard bag?
Your cheap cleaner was $130. Well, that's pretty cool. That's cheap then. There you go. I really like the one I have now though. It's got a pretty large capacity, heated, sweep frequency, degas options. Also got this sweet little tool, the underfill remover. I don't know what this is. It's a piece of plastic left over. Let's see if we can heat it up just a little bit. Actually, it looks like a piece of underfill from the other side of the board. It won't tear up those lines though. It'll end up causing problems. Alright, so let's put down some solder to clean up this lead free. We want to go to leaded on this to help reduce the temperature required to put it back on. Alright, now let's grab our wick. Alright, so our holes are cleared out. These, if you ever wonder how the SIM tray, or how the phone knows when the SIM is in, so on the back of the SIM tray it has that little lever mechanism. So when you slide in the tray, it actually separates those two from each other. And when there's no SIM, or when there's a SIM card, or the SIM tray is entered, the SIM tray is powered up from the baseband. So for the baseband to know when the tray is in or not, when you slot it in, this side is ground and this side is powered, and this has a resistor on it. So when this is open, this is grounded out. So the tray or the baseband knows the tray is out, so it turns these pads off. So there's no power going to any of the pads. When you slide your SIM tray in, it opens this and allows this power to go high. When that goes high, baseband knows that the SIM tray has been entered. So it turns the power on to these pads, and then it starts to read the SIM card if it's present. If it's not present, it'll just sit there and it sends out like I think 1.8 volts, and it'll just search to see if the SIM card ever shows up or anything. I don't know if there's any logic to tell it if it doesn't see the SIM card on the first few like looks or something to not look again, but that would be in programming, and I would assume they would be able to turn off the power to the tray if it doesn't see anything. Alright, so I'm going to have to grab a parts board now to pull this tray from. Okay. So I'm going to pull this one out of the jig and put our next one in. Okay. So that's now jigged up. This is actually the board we started testing our digs on for the Error 9 issue. Alright, so we're going to try to be gentle with this one. We don't want to damage it. We want it to be in good shape when we take it off. So we're going to go slowly, and we're going to make sure it's fully liquid before we go try to lift it up. Okay, it's almost there. Okay, there we go. So we got our sim tray off. We'll set that off to the side. We're gonna let the sim tray cool for a second, and then we'll kind of look it over. It's fairly easy to take these trays off without having to really cut anything away. Like you can see, the plastic back here usually always gets a little bubbled just because I have to put heat here and there's not much metal to absorb the heat. It doesn't really damage it or anything. It still works fine. If you're really worried about how it looks, once we get it soldered back down, you can actually take a razor blade and just kind of scrape the top and it'll look flush and flat again. The main thing we're concerned about is the pins down here to make sure that they're good, and these two pins, and then our mounting holes. As long as everything's straight there, we're fine, and that's what we're looking for. So now we can come back over here. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to put some lead on the corners over here, and then I'm going to solder the pins on the inside separately. That way they're not pushing up on the pins as I solder down the outside edge. And then once we're done, we'll flip the board over and we'll solder these two holes from the opposite side. We just feed in enough solder and it'll pull itself through. What did I do with my solder now? I have my solder out and I don't know where I put it. No, put it up top. I don't know why I put it up there. Well, that's good. You get lucky there's no iCloud shit on there. That's just not got enough thermal capacity to carry for me. I don't want to put too much solder on these pads. Too much can cause some bridging issues. So I'm going to try just to put enough to make a small little mound. Okay. There we go. That should be pretty good. Too much. There we go. Alright. So we got our corners tinned. We're going to sit our sim tray down. We'll make sure that it's lined up as well as we can get it. And now we're just going to heat it up and press it down into the solder. Okay, it's starting to sink down into the solder now. Okay, those are sitting flush against the board. That's what we want. Now I'm going to look down the backside edge. Okay, so our pins are, yep, they're in the holes. That's mostly what I'm concerned with, just making sure that they are sitting on their holes. So alright, now let's solder down the center pins. Just a little flux on each one in there. And we can take our tweezers. Okay. I'm just going to go in and touch the pin and press it down against the pad until it takes the solder. So it took it there. You don't need a whole lot on these, just enough to wet the pad. Since these are fairly pre-tinned already, it won't take much to get them to wet. Okay, make sure that these are all soldered. Alright, let's check them and see. That one's good. 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 And that one's good. Alright, so all the pins are soldered down. Now we just need to flip it over and solder the two back pins here. We can access one of those from the back side, but to get to the other one, we have to cut this shield right here. Not sure why they overlaid that shield anyway. It doesn't, there's not much there other than, I guess, maybe some rigidity. I'm not sure. If you look in there, you can actually see the pin on this one. You can't see that one, but we'll fill that in too. We're just going to add solder down onto the pad until it pulls through. As you apply more heat, it'll warm up the actual via, I guess. Well, it's a through hole, so it'll warm up the outside edge here, and it'll pull down through it. Okay. Alright, and so the way we can tell if these are soldered well, so that's grounded even when I disconnect it. Okay, so when these are closed, these are grounded together. When they're open, this one is not grounded anymore. So we can flip it over and see if the solder made it all the way through. Alright, so we now know that those are both connected on the board like they should be. So let's put our antenna back on. Alright, let's clean this up. What's up, Paul? So we're going to clean up that excess of flux there, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Alright, so should be good. Let's try a SIM card in it now. So let's grab our frame. We'll use this SIM out of this other phone. Tries to mess me up? No. Lewis and I usually stream about the same time, as what I've noticed. If I stream early in the afternoon, he usually doesn't stream very early unless he's just got something that comes in early on. Alright. So we got some flux in there. It's sticking to the tray a little bit, but we should be able to work that in and out a few times and get it to clear up. So as you can see, as we enter this, if you watch that lever, if we push the SIM tray in, it separates those two from each other. And when we eject it, they close back together. So that's how the baseband knows when the SIM tray is in or out. If you didn't know, now you know. Okay, so I'm going to put in a good battery since every phone that comes in is dead. All the time, always. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my SIM tray. Okay, so it's booting up. We will wait and see if we have SIM card recognition. Alright, so now it says searching up here, where before it would say no SIM. Let's see if it gets service. I don't know if that SIM card is active or not. So it says no service. It has read the SIM card now though. This is AT&T. So let's see. I don't think I hooked up the antenna. No, I didn't. Let me hook up the antenna and see if it'll pull service. We normally only get about 1 to 2 bars of AT&T service in here, so without the antenna, I don't think it would pull service. Let's eject it and make sure that it does see that the SIM tray ejects. So it does see when the SIM card is out now. So now when we eject it, it says no SIM card is installed. Just push that out and then kick it back in. Let's see if it recognizes the SIM or not. Yep, it recognizes the SIM's in. Let's see if it'll pull service. Or if it also has baseband issues. Could very well have baseband issues also. That may have been why they were dicking with the SIM card tray. Because it looked like they were jamming shit up in there.
Jamming it up in there.
I may go to a known active card. It may not activate on this phone, but it'll pull signal with a Verizon SIM in it. I know my Verizon card is active. Now if I can just find it. Dear Verizon SIM, where did you go? Where did you come from, Verizon SIM? Nikita, welcome. How are you? Alright, so I don't know where my Verizon SIM is. Let me see if any of these are active. See if any of these are active. If this does turn into baseband possibility, it will have to be asked before we do anything, since this is from another company. Let me see if this SIM is active. See if it kicks it out to the activation screen. No, it didn't kick it to the activation screen, so that's good. It still says no service though. Let's see who that... Oh, there we go. Now we got signal. So that SIM card wasn't active, the one we had in there, but now we have 3 bars of extended service, so we are good. It was the SIM tray that was bad. I'm not sure why they were dicking around in the SIM tray, but good to know that it's working now. We'll go ahead and eject that, and it sees the SIM card is out. Go ahead and put the SIM tray back in. We'll disconnect our battery, and we will move on to our next device. Peter, yes, we fixed one on screen. If the home button function doesn't work, it means the turtle IC on the home button is damaged, and it can be repaired. We've repaired one on stream actually with turtle damage. The little glass IC that's located on the ribbon flex, if you look at it, it may be cracked, and that's what happens. He starts his stream same time like you. Yeah, I mean, Lewis normally streams about the same time every day. Well, look at there. Paul Daniels is unboxing too. He's live too.
Unboxing.
Everybody's live. Peter, if you search through the videos, if you go to the iPhone 7 home button repair, that one was a home button that had no touch function, but the fingerprint scanner worked. I don't get to watch Paul unboxes his Hako. Maybe we should put Paul in a little small window and put him in the corner so we can watch his unboxing. He's very excited about his equipment. Face with shots like Botox. Peter, even if it looks okay, it's probably still something to do with turtle, I see. It's going to be one of those lines or something to do with it, maybe even the flex that goes over. There's a small ribbon flex that comes off to the side. That's the touch sensor flex. Look and see if that one is ripped on the home button. I've got one here. I can show you what I'm talking about. Oh, where's that home button at? Where you at, home button? There it is. So on the home button itself, this one is actually ripped in half. This is one that came in a long time ago. When people first started doing these, and the customer really fucked up and ripped the cable in half. But you can see this one's been ripped off. But the turtle I see is right here. This flex right here, this small one that folds off, that's the actual touch flex right there. So you need to check this piece right here. Chris, tell us about how you got interested in repairs, phones, Mac, etc. Nabil, so about 6 years ago I was working at a factory. Pretty good job. Paid well, was driving a forklift, enjoyed the job, easy work, made decent money, like $16 an hour. Nothing crazy, but nothing terrible. And the benefits were pretty good. They had really good insurance and retirement and everything. And you topped out at like, after 3 years, you could top out at like $21 an hour. So it wasn't a bad job. And I had always worked on like cars on the side, and our friends and I would always build cars. And then when we got to the point where we needed to do wiring and stuff, I was the one that always did the wiring and soldering. So we would wire up these harnesses and stuff, and we would swap different motors and stuff into different cars. So you had to modify harnesses to make them work and get power and everything to the correct locations and do all that. And so I understood how to read car diagrams, like the wiring diagrams, and I could understand how relays and stuff work. So it was fairly easy for me to understand like phone schematics. I didn't understand what all the parts were, but I could kind of look at it and tell. But after I lost my job at the factory, I decided I would start working for myself. So there were friends that had iPhones that had broken screens, so I was like, well, this is back when the 3G and the iPhone 4 was still fairly big. The iPhone 5 I think had just come out. So I started fixing phones just to make some money, and I worked on the side with friends just doing automotive work. And one day I was sitting at home, and one of my friends called me, and he was like, hey, I got a MacBook. I spilled drink on it. He's like, it didn't get in the keyboard, but I think it got in the back of the computer. I was like, okay. I was like, oh, I'll take a look at it. He's like, alright. So I got online, and I started researching MacBook board repair, and I Googled it, and sure enough, a video popped up for Lewis on YouTube. And Lewis had been doing it, I think, he had just at 2 years. He only had like maybe 3,000 or 4,000 subs. It wasn't a whole lot. And I started watching his videos, and one of the videos he did was the one wire circuit video. And when I got the phone in, or the laptop in, it had no green light on the charger, so I used that video and I looked at what he did, and I downloaded the schematics and followed his instructions, and I found that the 3V42 line was missing, had been burnt out, and I made a jumper wire and fixed the phone, or fixed the Mac. And that was the first board repair I had done. Okay, Anthony, that works. Sorry about that. But so yeah, like after I did that, I switched over and started working from home, and then I worked from home for a while, mostly doing Mac and phone repairs. I didn't touch iPhones, like board repair stuff for iPhones, because I didn't have the equipment to really work with them. I replaced a few chips on some phones that had been knocked off by customers trying to do their own batteries. And most of these components are big enough you could see. I had a microscope, but it had a really limited view, so it was hard to work with, and my soldering irons were all fairly large. I didn't have any micro tweezers or micro pencil. I barely knew how to use my hot air station efficiently on Macs. And luckily, MacBooks are fairly wide open spaces, and you can really throw heat to them. iPhones, I didn't know how much heat to use. I would burn things, like float shit that I wasn't supposed to be messing with, and like just stuff like that. But then Lewis one day, I think in the stream, said something about Jessa, and talked about how this lady working out of her kitchen was working on iPhones, and I was like, well, I work on my kitchen, so let's check her out and see what she's doing. So it was something I wanted to work on anyway, and I started watching Jess's videos, and I bought some not as shitty soldering irons that had fairly fine tips, but not great. And they were still shitty. But I started doing, I'm trying to remember what my first iPhone board repair was when I got into it. My very first one was I replaced the it had to do with the SIM tray, I think, on the iPhone 4S. There was a little four ball BGA chip that a guy knocked off, and I soldered it back on, and it worked. But the really first thing that I fixed, it had to be something like TriStar or something. Most likely it was TriStar. It was probably one of the first things I fixed on an iPhone. That would have been on like an iPhone 5C, I believe. Yeah, soldering on micro stuff without the correct equipment is a bit of a pain. It can be done, but it is a bit of a pain. Alright, so let's move on. I've got a Touch IC to finish up. I'm going to go back and talk about the 6 Plus that we worked on yesterday. I've replaced TriStar again. I've taken off every chip that I can think to take off, and it still won't boot up. So I'm really leaning towards SD-RAM being bad on it. What's up, Wadani? And then I'm trying to think what we have left. I don't know what else we have left. I think this one is done. The Touch IC, I think I already did that one. And no, that one's done too. I'll have to check this. I need to charge it up and see. Those are done. I've got a bag down here that I need to go through, and then I've got some more stuff in from Anthony. I can't remember if I did this Touch IC or not yet. I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. But we'll knock out a few Touch ICs and get all these done. Yasani, one of my first soldering jobs on the phone was a charge port on the S3. I don't know if I would consider it micro soldering because I did it without a microscope, but I think that was one of my first soldering jobs ever done on a phone. I would consider the S3 an in-betweener. It is much easier to do the S3 with a microscope. Can't wait for you to get my iPhone 6 Plus that's Touch IC and baseband. Sweet. Alright, let's see if I did the Touch IC on this one. I can usually tell by... this might be... I don't know if that's Touch IC one or not. S2 charging port. Did Paul get a microscope camera? If so, that's awesome. Hello. What can we do for you?
I had the iPad Air.
Okay.
I dropped
Okay,
off
go grab it.
You guys still have the charger? Okay.
He's using it. One's
What's
still
that?
home. That's her charger.
Okay.
I was just making sure.
It's Mr. Stereo charger.
That's the only big block one.
It's a good thing to have.
You guys don't have things for Airs, do you?
No, I
No,
don't
not
think
the
so.
Airs. No, I think we got some for the minis.
That's
This-
a better one.
this-
That one once it started shipping by.
Yeah.
Let's see what old Paul is doing here.
I had that mini at my car, but my mom's watching my son tomorrow, and she said she'd kill me if
Oh,
I took
okay.
his iPad away, because that's how she
Babysits
cooks
him?
and stuff. Is this a new screen for me?
Yeah, they just put them on there with the new screens. It won't help protect
It's the kind that
against-
needs to come off.
Yeah, it
once I
won't
start
help.
using
Yeah,
it.
it won't help protect against the rain.
Yeah. Hey Jason, thanks for coming in. Hope you had a good day, which we'll tell me about later. What is this? So what's the preferred temperature people have for these things? Oh man, that's me. Alright. You ever seen a YouTube video? There's one guy that does JVC section from scratch. Pretty impressive. What do you use for the controller? You just like use an Arduino or something like that for it? Well, point losses to hack it for making the user interface on this complete pain in the ass by the looks of it. I've mounted soldering stations where you just turn the dial and go. Oh, sweet. That's gonna piss me off real quick. This is like doing 320, 380.
Alright, after tax, it's going to be $71.80.
Yeah, see, it's like, this is the fun thing also with new irons, is that depending on their efficiency, where the temperature sensor is.
Full fast, boot looping, sometimes you see red screen blue, child software, error 2001.
Sure, calibrate all your irons to the same standard, but that's not a problem. But if you like most hacks, such as myself, you don't have a lot of calibrating or soldering iron stations, and so you just sort of compensate in your head by setting the front panel.
There you go.
So we'll assume 350 for the minute. Seems like they've set that right default, that's probably not bad default. So
That's not a problem.
This.
Is it hard to do?
It can be.
Still can't get out how small it is.
Yeah,
I mean, my
it really is.
my MacBook 65.
If you've never done one, you
Especially
can
with
break
custom
stuff.
ones, it's real tedious.
If you've never done one, it's easy to break.
This is
Yep.
how
Yeah.
What is that kind of case up there, that pink one?
That one there, the UAG.
It's iPhone 6, I think.
Oh,
iPhone 5 actually.
5.
it's way bigger over here. Oh, look how short it is.
Well, thank you.
Oh man, for healers.
Have a great day.
You too. Alright, so Nate says if an iPhone 5S is bootlooping and sometimes you see red or blue screen, tried software, got error 2001, what will that be repaired by NAND reball? Nate, you need to check for long screw damage. You need to check the compass IC, and error 2001, that's not a NAND error, I don't think. So it sounds like to me that you have some other secondary problem that's cutting off the restore. Amy asks, Chris, could you let Micah do a repair on stream? I can. Whatever Micah wants to do, I guess. What do you want to do on stream, Micah?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to try.
If we get a TriStar in, he can do it on stream.
There's a chip over here.
I can do a TriStar.
Do it on a TriStar.
TriStar.
Yeah, TriStar on the 5S can cause a red screen, I think. I'm watching Paul stream above here. I don't know if he read my comment or not. I was trying to give him shit. I don't think he read it though. Can Micah do your mom? Yes, he can do it very well.
Very well.
He is really good at sex.
You're going to have to get used to the orientation of these tips, like getting the tip of iron.
Show me your genitals. Your genitals. What? Show me your genitals. Your genitalia. I am really good at sex.
You guys can't see any of
Old
this.
people burning,
Old people
Put
burn.
your hands up.
2 months.
People
Maybe
burning
it's
or people burning that's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Guns don't kill people.
Take it around the edge of the band.
Kill people.
He's already going to town with the new Hako. We should have never given Paul Daniels his microscope. Now he's never going to talk to us again. He's gonna be too busy working on all the things that he couldn't work on before.
This is getting deleted.
What's the name of the channel for the other stream? It's Paul Daniels.
I know this one. It's just.
Hold on, I'll post a link so you can go directly to it.
I swear I've even got a photo of this one.
Yes. Micah still owns rubberdong.com.
Yeah,
Yes,
this
I
is
do.
the
I wanna buy it.
If you all want to buy it, he has it for sale.
It's my first
$800.
He'll sell it for $800, he said. Rubberdong.com.
Rubberdongs.com.
Challenge.
Rubberdongs.com. Get yourself some.
You don't have to be lonely. Well, yeah, I do.
I'm picking up already for this new setup.
You can be lonely at
Stay lonely at
rubberdongs.com.
rubberdongs.com.
Yeah, you're right. It is running a little on the low side, isn't it?
You can remain lonely.
Let's see if we can change the parameters a bit.
We had a lady come in today that was talking about her lack of sex life with her husband for the last 20 years, 30 years, whatever.
It's been 30 years. It's been 30 years.
So, okay, that, how's that? That should be a bit better.
Alright, we're gonna let that warm up a
I'm
little
probably
bit.
only going to get a 720p, but 60 frames per second or something like that. Something that's a little bit higher than what I need, and then just come back down to 720p. It should stop the frame dragging, and I'll be able to stay with USB. This main camera, that's a 60 frames per second, 720p, and it's on USB, and that's USB 2. So it does alright. So I'm not going to be able to do 1080, 60 like this and some of the others, but this should do for now. Much
You
better? Good.
have to be
I'm just going to get
lonely.
tried. This will be the first time I've used this, and I've got the J02 tip on this. But basically I want to see if I can get away with hooking, feeling.
Alright, so
Yeah, whatever, shut up.
Touch IC, kind of
That's-
standard operation.
oh, that's easy as
You're
pie.
getting an echo? Yeah, because I have Paul turned up.
Oh, yeah, I struggled all day yesterday trying to get good connections with my.
I'll turn
other
Paul
tip.
down.
This thing just, it's a bloody walk in the park. My
Gonna get a
God,
cuppa.
it's easy.
Cup of what?
Yep. And we are done. This just did in those few seconds, but I struggled with it. I had to do 3 or 4 times yesterday. It took me about
Paul is
20 minutes.
learning the
I'm still working
experiences of having a microscope and a nice soldering iron right now.
That's a $300 job. I'm
You can
gonna
see
do
you can see in how he's reacting, like how much easier things are now.
Oh, Chris Long, why are you sucking me into looking at your questions? Well, Lewis donated a while ago for open board view and everything, so yeah, I mean, you put a contribution in. Oh, g'day, Paul. Paul, yeah, the businessman in me says I can always have more cash, but realistically, no, I'm good. It's just after I've done this job and I've already fixed up the iPhone and I've got a couple
Alright.
of TriStar jobs, I'm going to be quite a lot better off in the coming weeks. So I think we're all good because everybody else's
I
contributions.
bet
the
Micah
last couple
hooked her
of
up
months,
with some A++
particularly you,
rubber dong.
and Chris, and
That's
then
what
Lynn
it's
right at
for.
the start too. I'm going to forget other people. But yeah, everybody's contribution has now enabled me to get this microscope. And the Hacko, I sort of pushed myself a bit on that, but that will come back. So I think we're good. And like I said, I'm really, even though this is a standard one, it's not the micro pencil, this is going to be able to do my MacBook jobs most of the time quite fine. Yes, thank you, Hacko. That's going to get annoying. I can see why Lewis wants to kill that. I may have to put a microcontroller in there to adjust how it beeps. Mako, no, this is actually the MacBook Pro microphone. I've got the MacBook on my shelf. I am looking at getting a wireless one. I'm going to try. You can get these cheap FM wireless ones. And oh, thank you, Jonathan. Here's a tip to celebrate your new
Alright,
line tip.
so
Thank you for ABV.
let's get this
actually, we're making
done.
some changes on that. So,
I'm over here
yeah, I was doing
watching
some overboard here right now,
Paul and
which I
trying
need
to work
check
at the same
after
time.
I'm done with this stream. I need to make sure
I was
that it
listening to
doesn't
him in the
keep
background here.
people awake.
You all get to watch the mundane, repetitive repairs. We do get to see the 3D stencil here in a second, though. So
Current streams, okay, Amy.
yeah, Paul is fully enjoying his microscope.
But yeah, so well, you know, it was a bit of an experience.
I was watching him when he did his unbox video, and you could like I messaged him after, and I was like, you could see that shit-eating grin on his face the entire time while he was fucking
Definitely worth the price.
opening it up. Like you could tell how happy he was.
Instead of me screwing around.
It opens up a lot of opportunities for you when you have the scope.
Because it's not done well enough.
Paul was talking about it on Facebook. Somebody asked him if it was difficult to get used to, and he was like, "It's crazy when you have the microscope. You actually gain like a level of dexterity you don't normally have, because you're able to see the small, minute movements that your hands make. So it does make a huge difference
How much I'm going to be using
when you're working under the scope versus if you're trying to handle these parts or something without it."
Service with its 1.2 and have them running concurrently. At least that way I can swap between tips without having to
Micah's
pull out the cable.
first batch of rubber dongs got touch disease. Yeah, because Micah's mom touched them
Yeah,
all.
that pretty much puts an end to.
We had to burn that entire pallet of stock.
So if you're wondering, yeah, I'd take go for it.
Had to burn the pallet
It's a
too.
step up above things up at AAA, that's for sure.
Isn't that right, Micah?
Send me cash.
Burned everything and the
Leslie,
pallet.
thank you very much.
Alright, let's see
Yeah,
how.
definitely saving up longer
Exacto
than
knife.
51 now. I agree, Rick. It would certainly. Yeah, I think it's more than anything. It's that tip, that JO2 tip. It gives you, particularly under the microscope, it gives you the ability to hook around the corner, and I think that's what really matters.
Let's see.
Alright. Let me just get something.
Hey there.
Hello.
Can I help you?
Well, my kids have moved out of the enclosure
You
pen,
lost it?
or at least in the area that I can
Several
see,
times,
so
yeah.
I'm going to
Okay.
finish up the stream because I'm the only one awake at the moment.
That's,
and when things open up, they can't get out to the enclosure,
1.6S
but I do
plus?
like to keep an eye. Because
Okay.
even though it is winter here, we do still
Okay.
have an occurrence of snakes periodically. So typically every 15-20 minutes
I'll get started on it.
walk around the yard and make sure everything's good. You know, yep, you can get my N15 OBB. Oh, right. And run PM, set geostations last. Okay, I'll do that after. So, it is definitely a simple focal head. Yes, it is definitely a simple focal head. They just have a sticker. I can't show you because the camera's on the wrong side. Yeah, I can't show you. There's just a sticker over the hole where it was for the pull-out pin, and obviously the head assembly itself has already been screen printed with the old instructions, and that's where the problem happened. No micro pencil, yes. No, the micro pencil with tips is probably about another $450, and other than the knife blade edge tip, I haven't really got a big use for it at the moment, so I think I'm going to be alright with the standard tip for a little while yet. What's up with GitHub? The issue just disappeared completely. Oh, okay. I don't know about what's going on there. Unless that person removed the issue thinking that it had been solved, possibly. I'm not sure. Jonathan, yes, I did get Jonathan's donation for I did mention it too. Hey, Motorman. Alright. Okay, I'm out of here. Thank you very much for jumping in and enjoying with me this unboxing and first test. I know, that's rather cliche, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, I'll see you guys later, and the microscope camera, we'll work on that, get that on. Once that's done, then finally there'll be more of a normal stream once more. So until then, take care.
Alrighty.
I'll see you guys later.
About 15-20 minutes, we'll have you ready.
Okay.
Working? What do you think I do out here? Sit around?
I have never been in here before. I couldn't even find it. I was like, and then the door. Oh my god! I was like, what
How do you
door?
open this door?
How do I get in?
This door has a handle. How do you do this? How do you even do this? We're streaming on YouTube and the peoples are watching.
Oh.
You're
They can
live.
see you and hear you.
They know where you are now. Now you can't escape.
Now I'm gonna go sleep here. So
Hide.
All 12 of Chris's internet friends.
All of my friends on the intranets. Micah, you're jelly. Jelly of my internet friends.
You can see I'm gonna help you. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Time for bed. See ya, Paul. TS100 iron. Never heard of that.
And which other button? The space bar and which one? The side ones, okay. Technically they all go through the same wire, so I don't. We ordered that keyboard for you, didn't we? It wasn't one that you provided or anything like that, was it? Okay. I mean, if you want us to replace it again, we can. If you feel like if it's an issue or something like that, then yeah, we can take a look at it and maybe see if it is something mechanical with the buttons themselves, or if it isn't, then we can replace one. So, okay. Okay. We open at 10. Yep. Okay. No problem. Bye.
Oh no, Anthony, it's no big deal. No big deal, Anthony. Not your fault. I already told you prices though. I'm not gonna change it after I do that. You send us plenty of stuff anyway. Wonder if Paul Daniels is gonna stop in on our stream or not. Is he too good for our stream?
He's too good now.
He's too good now.
These guys own their
These guys own the internet peoples.
internet friends, Chris. Internet friends.
Micah?
How do you know I got a girlfriend in Canada, Chris?
In Canada. You do?
No.
You have a Canadian girlfriend, Micah? Oh yeah. Paul's gonna make more money now with his equipment. That's for sure. Hey, Paul Daniels here. Paul's a kid in a candy store right now. He's like, I got a microscope, I got myself an iron, I'm getting myself a USB camera.
Oh, but Chris is
Paul's gonna experience the issues with the LED light ring that I have. If you bump the connector, it turns off. Smashed board for data. And CPU reballs are still a pain, man. You hate the ring of light? Down, down, down in the burning ring of fire. She burns, burns, burns in the ring of fire. In the ring of fire. Same issue like your 6 Plus. Current 0 to 100 milliamps loops. Problem with broken solder balls below CPU. Try to put CPU in looping and watch current consumption. Okay, I'll take a look at that, David. Thank you. Uh-oh.
Your solder paste tip is a lifesaver. You get some love too. Smiley face.
Smiley face. It reads out smiley face. AMTECH making a stupid plastic adapter for the light ring. Yeah. Well, my problem is the connector. They use a micro USB. It's terrible. Terrible. Why do you reball yours with lead? Uh-oh, camera's flipping out. I think this camera's going bad. Paul, if you look here, see this paste? I've dried it out. I've taken all the flux out of it. It's easier to work with. Yeah, I agree, Paul. It should have been a DC jack. Jason from SDS posted a couple of videos. One was a PMIC replacement that fixed the boot amperage up and down. I'll try a PMIC again. I've done 2 on there already with the same symptoms. Paul gets his paste pre-dried. I don't always. Did they tell you about the surround sound thing? Upstairs? Psst. Did they tell you about the surround sound thing upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not under warranty.
Do they offer any like discount if you trade in for another one? The company?
Well, I didn't even call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Something's wrong with it.
I tried everything I could to get it working, but nothing.
Yeah, and that's like, if you can't get it working, I don't know who's going to.
Do we have touch? Manage trade things set. Alright. Okay, so touch is working. So that is good. We need to do the tap test here. Hold it. It's good. So, man, haven't been able to really look at it much today yet. I don't know what's wrong with it though. It's something on the board's messed up on it. Because every time I unplug the battery and reset it, it'll work again.
What you mean unplug it and reset?
Like just unplug it and plug it back in. It'll work again. And then it evidently, I guess, when it dies, it doesn't turn back on.
That's the thing. Like yesterday I was trying to charge it, but it wouldn't even stay on long enough for me to charge it.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
On there,
it's got to be something with the
charge
board.
for a little bit, and then like when you click your phone to go off, it'll stay off, and I'll be like, what? Then they come back on and give me a whole different percentage.
Yep, it's got to be something with the board. Let's see. Let's see what it does here. See if it pulls any charging current or not. Because earlier it was acting like it was charging, but it didn't do anything. Yeah, see, it's in some weird state again where it's not wanting to turn back on. I've got 2 more boards to do, and then I was gonna pull it apart. So I probably know something in the morning. We'll check in. We'll open up at 10. I should have it looked at by then. Sorry about that. No problem. That's what happens when you get water in your phone. Things don't work right. I don't think his is I don't think it's TriStar issue though. I think it's something else. It's weird. Might be Tigris maybe. Have to look and see. I thought maybe it was battery. I thought you said the battery had been replaced in...
Huh?
Did you say the battery had been replaced in his phone?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought you said it had.
No, it's another phone.
Oh, okay. So it probably could be battery. It probably is battery.
Could be Chris. I don't know. They're over there using the water damage battery.
Bobby Fisher, where is he? I don't know. Alright, so...
BC, how may I help you?
There is a great hour.
She still hasn't made it back yet with it. She went to go pick it up from the other shop though. It will be ready tomorrow.
Guarantee.
Well, yeah. Probably about noon. Okay. All right. Bye. Girl, I told you that we'd have to send it to another shop.
What did they say?
She's like, I dropped it off so-and-so day, and it's been, and I'm like,
She dropped it off Tuesday.
Tuesday, and I told her it wouldn't be an overnight thing, it would have to go all the way to Glasgow.
Yeah. We told her it could be a few days. She obviously hasn't been using it if the charging port isn't working, so I don't know why she's all pissy about it now.
Yeah.
I love when customers do that. Like, it's been dead for a week, but now that I want it, why isn't it done immediately?
You're saying people are impatient no matter what they do.
Oh yeah. This girl brought her.
Out their hands or something.
Yeah, this girl brought us her phone that doesn't charge, and probably hasn't been charged for a while now. And we told her we would have to take it to our friends in Glasgow to have the screen removed because it's a Samsung. and we don't mess with them much. So to keep from breaking her screen, we took it up there.
I would have gladly broke the screen for her.
They got the screen out, and we're getting it back today.
I should've just
And
quoted
she's
her for
called. She's called every day and asked if it's done, and we told her it could take a few days,
that we would call her.
and we would call her as soon as it was done. And now she's complaining because it's taking a few days. Like, okay, sorry.
I should have quoted her for the screen. Just be like, okay, I want to go back here and bust this thing out.
Okay, you can kidnap the chat.
You kidnapping the chat?
I don't know, they're talking about something. I mean, I try to be as quick as I can, but I guess I should have just told her to take it to Glasgow, because then Seth would have brought it to me to replace the port. So it would have taken a few days either way. I just don't mess with Samsung screens. Not worth the price if you mess them up. Especially not on an S5. Yep.
I had a life-proof case on that before,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, with those, it comes with a built-in like screen protector on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it lost the sensitivity of my fingertip, so like I'd swipe and it wouldn't react.
Possibly. Because
The case, you
I don't know
know.
if the case would do that.
I mean, like I would swipe and
You
it
think?
it's
and
just
then
a
I
piece
took
of
it
plastic if there's a barrier
and it
there.
worked fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's any air in between the screen and the plastic film, it'll cause issues. That's why we like the glass screen protectors, because they sit down real thin and against it. But with the life proof, I mean,
I got that because I'm a walking disaster, and
the life proof is good for water protection, but that's about
that's
it.
what I'm talking about. I spilled.
You fall in lots of pools.
It's
I don't
understandable.
even know if it would still protect against pool.
Yeah, I mean, it says. What does it say? Does it say it's waterproof?
Water resistant.
Yeah. See, that's just like.
iPhone 7's water resistance too.
Huh?
So the iPhone 7's water
Well,
resistant
6
too.
is resistant as well. I mean,
Somewhat.
Not as good as 7.
Well, I wouldn't even come close to doing what you can do with the 7, but the 7 still get water damage. We fixed a few of them.
I don't know. I think it'll be
But
ready.
don't life proofs have a warranty? Do they?
Supposedly,
I
I
don't know if you
don't,
claim it.
I don't know how they justify if it's their case or not. I mean, I guess you could just go buy an Otterbox or a life proof and then say,
you got water damage, go here.
yeah, mine's broken.
Fix it.
How do you
well,
prove
like,
that?
I just want to replace the case. Like I like.
I think
the
they do.
case.
I think they do
They will
replace
the
cases.
case, yeah.
Okay.
But I think you gotta pay like a shipping and handling fee.
Yeah, it's like
something that.
$16.
$5 or
No, it's
something.
more than that. It's like $16. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Give me that penelope when you're done, sir. Oh, they warranty the case, not the phone. Makes sense. Look at you, almost stabbed yourself.
I didn't stab myself, I almost dropped.
Whatever you say, stabby.
There you go.
So, okay, this is just like a.
Yeah, it's just a film.
Production was gonna suck because they're doing the movie.
Cool.
Oh, is it tonight?
So,
Yeah.
Oh.
It starts in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You've never been.
That's
Oh.
a replacement for one of them. He didn't have the other one.
Is there like a
Okay.
with this. If
Are you
something were to
running?
happen and it
I'm
goes
parking
wrong,
back.
or
If something with
I'm
it
in the
happens,
bridge
yeah.
lady's
Now if
parking
you
spot,
drop
but they're
it
closed.
and
It's shattered, yeah.
She's gonna come find you.
I'm
But
out
yeah,
And I
of
was like,
the
she'll
one
probably
there's
come in, she'll be
pretty
like,
much
I'm
warranty,
trying
like
to see the
if
movie,
the
parking my
LCD
spot.
stuff
Somebody was in my
allowed or-
spot.
or if the disc
And then I'll
has
punch
it.
her.
She knows. She knows you were there.
Well, I'm going to Best Buy after this to talk with them about my life career case. So hopefully I won't ever drop it. Actually, I know I'll drop it, but
Don't drop it.
Don't drop it.
I won't drop it without a case. is what I
Don't
was
drop
saying.
it. At all.
Those are racist.
That's when you think to leave.
Huh? Oh,
Uh,
sorry.
by 7.
Jenica, but those
Jenica.
are S's.
Somewhere around 7.
I sign my name Jess.
7-ish.
That's just what I go
Goes
by.
to UP.
So like every year at Christmas, they're like, "Who's Jen?"
I got a
Yes.
Like,
sandwich while I was up there because I was
Sandwich.
I was,
Get yourself a sandwich.
yeah, that's, what's his name? Colton.
Colton.
He's like, where's Arby's? He said, it's on Hamburger Hill. I was like, what the heck is Hamburger Hill? He said, you turn right and it's a hill with all
Vietnam.
the fast food places. Like, oh. Okay.
Address?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it is.
Let me see if I got this port. Do I have this?
You never knew there was a boulevard in Bowling Green, did you? I can assure you there is nothing back there.
That's the fancy part of town.
Yeah. Yeah, they put boulevard to try and make it fancy.
It's where all the rich folk live. On the boulevard of broken dreams.
And it is like the Pyromance. I wish I could have went, but I did not feel well. But she said when Pyromance takes over a city, they even take over the men's restroom.
Whole lot
They
of
put
text
it
can
up
be
during Pyromance
136.
as the women's restroom.
You take cars, right?
You better be careful.
I probably should have asked that before.
I don't think I have any of these ports laying around anymore.
What are you looking for?
I'm gonna pull the one off of Cess, but I was hoping I had one, just a spare port, but I don't think I do.
Did he put
There
the
you
old
go.
one in there? He said he
Yeah, I've
had
got
it.
a spare one here.
Okay. He
Let's
put
see
one
which
in
one
there. I didn't know
this
what it was. Because he was looking for a charger.
Oh, this might be Verizon. I might not. Yeah, I got a Verizon one. Sweet.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh,
Oh,
Joe.
no.
No, Joe.
Ashley.
What's it? It's in there. You're just
Oh.
not. You messed everything up.
Oh no, Joe.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm not even gonna
Oh
help you.
no.
Micah.
What? Oh no.
Micah.
There you go, man.
Alrighty.
Have a good one.
Mhm.
Don't break your phone on your way to Best Buy.
I
Don't
really
drop
hope I
it.
don't.
There have been people that dropped it within the store before they left.
Oh my gosh.
Right on
See,
that
yeah,
table
I
out
don't
there.
Stress myself
Oh, yeah,
out.
on the table, and the
There
girl
been
that
someone
dropped
right
it
outside on the
out
sidewalk.
the door.
Was it-
Literally right outside the door on the sidewalk.
What do you put? Oh, the charger.
It's
She almost
fine.
cried.
Yeah.
Scoozy.
You're on my way.
Scoozy.
Mm.
Scoozy.
I can't
Suck it in.
See
I
ya.
can't suck in my leg.
Suck it in.
Am I gonna fix this S5 so we can go home?
Hurry up.
Change the charging port and then put the
That's all I
screen
do.
back on. Take the charging port out, replace
Ready
it,
tomorrow.
and then put that screen on.
She was being annoying.
Charging port's already out.
That's the new one, Broham.
The charging port's already out. Chris, charging port's already out.
Where the heck are my parts from Jason? Need your
Jason Gordon.
TriStars? I need my TriStars too. Alright, so I'm gonna do one more phone, then I'm going home. This one is one that we did a screen on. And camera's fucking up again. We did a screen on this phone. Phone came back. Said it didn't turn on. Turn the phone on, it has half backlight. remove the shield, find that the backlight has water damage, fix the backlight because it's completely destroyed on one side. The anode line on this one was burnt completely out on one side, so I had to kind of get rid of the burnout section, and I put conformal coating over it and then place the IC back down because the IC has to be present, I believe, for the jumper from one side to the other to work. So this one actually has a jumpered backlight. The right side is feeding the left side also. It works perfectly fine. I don't notice any really like brightness issues. So Jessa did this little trick a long time ago, but I've kind of found out the hard way that if you don't have the other IC on and you try to turn this on with it jumpered, it will immediately burn up the first IC. So it is required that you have both ICs on even if the anode line is not there. Maybe the UV solder mask has been detected and they think it's meth. Why are you transferring meth through the post office? Get your meth out of the post office, bro. Alright, let's see if TriStar is working. So I'm going to go ahead and hook up the DC power supply. And we're going to look and see if we get... Are you going to connect? Huh.
I'm gonna go mail these.
So the DC power supply has decided today is not going to work.
I'm gonna mail the out of country ones tomorrow.
Okay.
Do these now. Love ya.
Love you. Alright, so DC power supply today is not going to display on screen.
See ya.
So we're going to test it here. Okay,
What?
so that is
Wanna go to Yuki with us
When?
after
after I leave here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yay! Mike is going to go eat with us. Yay!
Because I want to take all Chris' money.
You're not taking any of my fucking money, Michael.
Taking all of Chris.
Alright, so this one has a really weird issue. When I plug it in to see if TriStar is working, I get an immediate 40 milliamp draw, which is not correct. So let's take this thing apart and see what the fuck is going on, because that's not normal at all. $400 milliamp draw immediately means we got somebody that is, sorry, I said 40, it's 400 milliamp. Somebody is fucked up on the board and it's causing a short, it seems. So we need to find out where that short is coming from. I'm going to take this shield off because I need to resolder it anyway. But you all can see the work that I did the other day. We'll see if maybe that's causing issues. As you can see up here at the top, you can see the water damage that was in the phone. And then if you come down here, you can see
It's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
where you at?
Peanut butter jelly
Where you
time.
at? Where you at? Where you at?
There
Where
you
you go? There you go. There you go.
Peanut butter
There you
jelly
go.
with a
Peanut
baseball
butter
bat.
jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly for a baseball bat. Paul, you need to get the voice to, or the donation, the text to speech stuff on yours. So you can listen to it. Yeah, if you have 1,000 subs, you do. Peanut butter jelly! Peanut butter jelly! No problem. I appreciate your donation. Paul Daniels is now going to donate and sing us the song of his people. Paul, I've got a slightly offensive, kind of funny story to tell you. And so I was at a local basketball game for the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, which is the local college. And they were playing the Australian international team in a exhibition game. And the Australian national team was coming out, and they said over the PA system, they said, "Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem ceremony." And they said, "We will start with the Australian national team and the anthem from Australia." And they started playing It Came from the Land Down Under. It was cut off pretty much immedately, but you knew what it was as soon as you heard it. So I apologize on behalf of all these people, but it was kind of funny.
That is their theme song, I thought.
I don't know.
That's their national anthem.
That's not their national anthem.
Yeah, it is.
Have me Vegemite sandwich.
It is in this movie theater.
Does anybody even eat Vegemite anymore? Or is that just a stereotypical fucking thing? Paul said no, it's cool. We find it pretty damn funny.
Good. I'm gonna keep singing.
Alright, so I don't see... There is some signs of what looks to be liquid that settled on the back of this. Hey, look, we got some sweet trolling. Hey guys, the stream is a fraud, but I'm streaming right now, giving out new iPhone 7s every 10 seconds. Come to my stream and get your iPhone.
I'm not gonna do it.
Paul can take care of that. Paul, please ban this gentleman. I need a mod. Everybody needs to go to his stream. He's giving away iPhone 7s every few minutes. He said so. Alright, so I'm looking for any obvious issues. I don't see any type of long screw damage. What if he's right? I mean, you can go check it out. Tell him, if he's lying, you have to call him out on it, though. You have to be like, you son of a bitch. Alright, so let's take a gander under this shield where Tigris and TriStar are and see if we have any signs of liquid. We'll also pull our sticker and see what's going on under there. Here's the real question. Was he giving away an iPhone 7 or iPhone 7S? Does that even exist? No, it doesn't. Who's the fraud now, big boy? Alright, so pulling back the shield reveals that there's absolutely nothing wrong with the board. Mod him. Hold on, I'll have to go to the Book of Face.
We have to go on Facebook to do it.
Because they won't let me do it through here.
Why not?
Because it won't. Anthony, add moderator. Anthony is now a moderator.
Anthony Dave.
Anthony Hardaway.
Hard on.
Anthony getting a hard on. Spamrubberdong.com. Why aren't you doing that, Micah?
I'm not on YouTube.
Micah, rubberdong.com.
I'm not on YouTube.
Alright, let's hook up our leads here and see if we have a amp draw with the phone off and hook to the DC power supply. What's up, Mark? How's it hanging? We have a 1 amp draw with the phone off.
1 arm draw.
So 1 amp should produce some serious heat. So let's find out what is getting warm.
1 arm produces so much draw.
Okay, so it's something up here. Feels like it has to do with the backlight circuit that we were fucking with. So let's see if we can pinpoint exactly what it is. We'll put some flux down here and we'll see who melts first. Alright, so it's over here by this driver. Up. Looks like it's around the diode there, maybe. Yeah, so the diode is smoking. Okay, so the diode's getting hot. Why is the diode getting hot? This worked perfectly fine the other day. Is our sticker exposed or something? No, that looks good. Let's check our backlight rail for short. This worked perfectly fine the other day, so I don't know why it would be fucked up now, but there's no short there. Okay, so we do have a short. Let's see if maybe that's some residual buildup of power. We're going to keep testing that. I'm just going to hold it. So we do have a short. So we need to figure out what line that's on. And if it's the IC that's shorted or what it is that's actually fucked up. Mary had a little lamb.
I don't know, it's a pretty big one. See what bitch was with it.
Which computer did you turn into a 500 gig server? So that's the anode line. I thought I disconnected that line. Huh. How the fuck is the anode line getting power? It's not connected. So somehow a line that's not connected is getting power somehow. Wonder if I can take the diode out and see what happens. Or maybe take the cap off. So as you can see there, the pad where this was is burnt out, and where the ground is there is gone. For some reason, our shit is pulling high amp draw. It's still pulling 1 amp. It's gotta be that diode that's doing it. Let's see if we can pull the diode out while it's smoking. Maybe it'll melt the solder. Maybe it'll get hot enough. I've seen them do that before. I don't think it's gonna get hot enough for it.
Okay, fuck, that was scary.
Okay, diode's out. And the amp draw is gone now. So I wonder though if we hook up this screen though, when we try to boot it up, if it's going to instantly burn up the IC here or not. We'll find out here in a second. Nothing so far.
I ain't seen it. It's new to me.
Catch anything on fire? Okay, this one's doing the same thing that other phone was doing. So it's looping. I don't know if it's because I'm not hitting the power button long enough or not. Well, that's crazy. It's literally doing the same thing that other phone was doing. It's trying to turn on, then turns off. Tries to turn on, then turns off. I can't imagine that didn't even get hot enough to melt the solder, so there's no way that caused an issue. Diode could be blown through. Yeah, I agree. I don't know how it would be blown through though. So the problem is on this one, the anode output on one side of this backlight driver is fucked. Like it's shorted inside the board. So I completely blocked it off from the other side. I don't even know why I put the diode on, to be honest. I'm not sure if it even makes a difference or not. But I put it back on there just in case. We very well could have a bad backlight driver on that side now that's keeping this from turning on. Yeah, so I'm going to pull that backlight driver. I have a feeling that the left side there is fucked and is not allowing this board to turn on. So I'm going to pull this driver here and see if it'll boot up with half backlight. I'll have to remove my jumper also. Okay, so got that driver off. So as you can see there's a hole in the board, and I put conformal coating down to keep it from shorting on anything, but there's a hole in the board right there where the anode pad used to be. Alright, and so now I'm going to remove my ghetto jumper here. Well, actually it's already removed itself from the heat, so sweet. So let's see if we get boot with half backlight at least. I'm actually going to take this off to make sure I don't short this out. What are you talking about? The cap that's horizontal. That one there that's missing? That feeds, I think it's like the proximity. It's a capacitor. It's not really needed. At least not for the phone to turn on. It wasn't there before and it booted. It hasn't been there since like the phone came in with pretty severe water damage and that cap was fucked. So it's still not turning on. Alright, so this one had problems with randomly not wanting to turn on, and now it's really not wanting to turn on. So, the one between the two vertical caps. Two vertical caps. I have no idea what you're talking about. You're talking about these? This here? Are you talking about this? That I mounted that way so that this side of the filter output or input is shorted. So I can't touch that. By the coils. This one here? This cap? I believe that's VCC main. Yeah, so I think that's VCC main right there. Alright. So this phone has progressively gotten worse. It's now doing the exact same thing that the other 6 Plus is doing. I'm getting about 100 milliamp draw and then it reboots. 100 milliamp draw and then it reboots. I never get an image on the screen with no backlight either. Alright, so let's meter some lines. Maybe we got an I2C line or something that's low. So this should be the I2C line. 0.366, 0.245, 0.366. So that's normal. Let's compare that to the other I2C line, which is over here. Okay, so 0.385, and now this one is 0.366, so that seems okay to me. Pull TriStar. Question is, why would it be TriStar? Why do you think it would be TriStar, Amy? There's no damage around TriStar. All of our damage was in this area. I probably could have just run this filter this direction and made them touch and had the same results. So, if we can figure out the solution for one of these, maybe we can figure out the solution for both of them. I'm going to try pressing on the CPU while it's trying to boot up, just to see if it makes any bit of difference. I'm seeing no difference while pressing on the CPU. This really is acting exactly like the other one is. Like, these are almost identical in the way they're acting. So it goes up to about 100 milliamps and then it drops back down to no draw, and then back up to about 100 milliamps and back down to no draw. Let me try different leads just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure I tried the other leads on the other one too, and there was no difference. Even the battery, there was no difference. Okay, it's hooked up. Nope, still a thing. Same thing's happening. Show you Tigress. Okay. Here's Tigress. Tigress. TriStar. That backlight driver is on the same line as TriStar, but I don't think it would have gotten damaged. It wasn't shorted or anything. And I had an iPhone 6 earlier today that was TriStar that was bad. And when it was turning on, it was like on off, on off, on off, on off. Like it would go 100 milliamps off, 100 milliamps off, 100 milliamps off, 90 milliamps off, 90 milliamps off. Like really fast. Like this one's like 100 milliamps off, 100 milliamps off. The battery gate? You're talking about this guy right here? I don't think the battery gate's a problem. It's not a power problem. The board's pulling power. Let me see what all lines or all ICs this talks to. So this line talks to Chestnut. It talks to CPU. See what else it talks to. Doesn't talk to anything on baseband. It talks to PMIC, and it talks to, I believe, TriStar. Talks to TriStar. That's it. What's up? This is second camera. That's cool. Thank you. Evening. How are you, Navaldo? Okay. We'll see what we get. Alright, so we'll replace TriStar and see what happens. I replaced TriStar on the other one twice now, and there was no change. But maybe this one is TriStar. Maybe it got damaged by that IC fucking up or something, which caused some type of issue across the I2C lines, which maybe fucked up TriStar. I would think, though, if it caused that kind of issue, it would probably fuck up PMIC too, and Chestnut. The other phone we've replaced TriStar, we've replaced PMIC twice, both, and we removed Chestnut, both backlight drivers, and it still won't boot. So whatever issue is being caused there, I'm not sure what it is.
What the fuck?
What are you doing?
I didn't do shit, just fell out of nowhere.
Alright, so after we do TriStar on this, if it doesn't boot up, I'm going home. I'm gonna go get me some food, some delicious sushi. Okay. TriStar is off. Gonna come in and clean it up.
Oh no.
What? You didn't put all the screws back in, my guy. You already got it taped down?
Yeah.
Alright, well, fuck it. Did you check the charge before you taped it down?
Yeah.
No, you didn't?
Yeah, I did.
Liar.
All the charge.
Yeah. Hope it charges. If not, you're doing an emergency run in the morning. Is it true if you get Air 9 or 4013 it's NAND? Yes, it can be. It can very well be NAND. It can also be EEPROM if it's Air 9. 4013 usually is NAND though. It can also be Air 4013 if the memory is full of air logs from possible bad batteries. What time is it there? It is.
Okay, now charge.
Let me see. What time is it here? It is currently 19:23.
Why did you say that military time?
That's how they said it.
That's how we said it.
We're on Central Time. 4005 and then a 4013. I would guess that's probably NAND.
Oh, America.
Fuck yeah. You can lick my ass and suck on my balls. Okay, so we're going to heat up TriStar here. Wait for it to melt. Should be close. Okay, there it goes. Okay, TriStar is in place. Oh, no problem, Amy. I've replaced so many TriStars and thrown away a bunch of them, it's ridiculous. I need to start ordering TriStars by the 100. How do readings give me an idea of a short? So, a short means that it has a short path to ground. So when you have a short, if a power line normally does not have a direct path to ground, it only has a path to ground through the power source. But if there's a short, it means that the power has a path to ground somewhere else. And you can meter that by using either resistance mode, continuity, or diode mode. Diode mode will give you the fastest readings as far as resistance. Continuity mode will give you the fastest reading. If there's a short, it'll beep immediately. Resistance mode is really slow, but it is accurate. Normally we use either continuity or diode just because of how fast it is. If a line is shorted, diode mode will read close to 0. If it is in continuity mode, you'll get a beep if it's under like 100 ohms. So most power rails have a resistance to ground in the thousands, if not millions of ohms. So if it's down near 100 on VCC main, you know you have a short. So you have to find that. What's up, Spectre? Alright, so let's hook up our power and see what happens. I'll be happy if it boots. Okay, let's see. I'll try that again real quick. Nope, still doing the same thing. And this is weird. This is really weird. Alright, so it's on TriStar. Let me see if my VCC main voltage is coming up. So I'm going to put it in my DC power mode and read DC power. And I'm getting 4.13 volts. Let's see, 1B8 line is 1.8 volts. So I have no clue. Press the bottom part of the CPU. Okay. Pressing the bottom part of the CPU.
It's all the way up to 0%.
No change. Still on, off, on, off, on, off. Is the sound readout for donating on? Yes, it is. It is on. So I'm going to press on the CPU while I try to boot it just to make sure. So pressing on the CPU, no difference. Same thing, same problem. Oh, now I have two phones doing the same fucking thing and I don't know what the fucking cause is. One of them was water damage that came in and it does that now, and this one is water damage also. So I don't know. I think it has something to do with the CPU or the SD RAM. I would be willing to bet that if I put this phone back in its housing, we could probably put it in DFU mode. Lewis, rice will not fix this. You know this. Rice is for eating, not for fixing electronics, silly. Rice is for vegetarian burritos, not MacBooks. It hurts my head. It hurts my head. When there's problems, especially like two phones that share similar symptoms. Long Green or Jasmine, you have to go Jasmine. I mean, Jasmine is superior in the rice technology. I am going to go have sushi here in a little bit. That's true. Sushi is delicious and nutritious. It has all your omega fats. Solder a grain of rice in place of the diode. That might work, actually. We'll have to check that out. Alright, so I'm going to see if this will go in DFU mode. I have a feeling it will. Any shit under chestnut? I'll check here in a second. I don't think so, but we'll check it. Alright, so let's see if it'll go in DFU mode. It is hard to get full on sushi, that's true. Lewis, how's business been? Busy? Yeah, so the phone goes in DFU mode. So this one's exhibiting the same exact symptoms as the other phone. The phone won't boot up. It loops at about 100 milliamps over and over and over. Both phones had liquid damage.
You'll figure it out. You're great at this.
Thank you, Spectre. Stupidly busy? Yeah, we've been pretty busy lately too. I've just now gotten caught up with mail and shit, not including the stuff that's local. So this phone right now is in DFU mode. Let's see. Yeah, it sees the phone in DFU mode. There's nothing I can fucking do though. Let's hit go flash. Let's hit retain user data, and I have a feeling this is going to error out whenever it goes to Are you making a website for yourself, Lewis, or one for like shopping? Like, are you making a store site or one for the business? Alright, so we're going to wait and see. I have a feeling this is going to get to the first like step whenever you kick it out to restore mode, and it's not going to go into restore mode. Hope Pepe is still serving you well. Lewis, we do have a friend here with you. You see your friend is here. So it's trying to go into recovery mode right now. Yeah, it failed to go into recovery mode. So this phone is literally doing the same exact shit. Anthony sent me it. So this phone is doing the exact same thing as the other one now. So let me check a chestnut and see if there's any corrosion. If I see any, I'll pull it, but if not, I'm going home. Paul has been absolutely infatuated with his microscope and his soldering iron now. I don't think he's ever going to talk to us again, Lewis. He's got what he wants now. Alright, so chestnut, you're the one that's, yeah, you're this one here, so let's see. So based on what I can see there, chestnut looks clean. Chestnut looks clean there. And chestnut looks clean there. So I don't think it's chestnut. Let's see, the flash driver is there. It looks okay. SD RAM looks fine. Yeah, I don't see anything that looks bad here. I guess I can pull the other backlight driver. Maybe it got fucked up. Maybe the one failed, caused the other one to fail again, and we'll see. I'll go ahead and pull the backlight driver. I doubt it's PMIC. It could be, but corrupt NAND. I don't think it's corrupt NAND. The corrupt NAND would indicate that like it should still go into recovery mode even with a corrupted NAND, and it doesn't. It doesn't even get into recovery. So okay, so we pulled our old IC off there. Everybody under there looks good still. So let's see if it'll boot up. Last try, then I'm going home. Mike is gonna get his money. Gustavo, what do you mean by the whole area? Are you talking about the top of the, like where the drivers are? Like the backlight drivers? The main voltage rails are probably there. The other phone that I have that's doing the same thing, I've monitored the voltage rails, and they are all present. Chestnut, I don't know if Chestnut's been reflowed or not, but I doubt it. I usually block off a lot of the heat with the coin. Alright, let's see what it does with the other driver missing now. So let's see, prompt to boot. Nope, same thing. Still cycling. Still on off, on off, on off. So yeah, I have no idea what's caused this. So I would think if it was PMIC, the other one we have that's doing the exact same thing, I've replaced PMIC twice. If it's an I2C line that's causing this loop, maybe a bad chip. The other board that we have over here, I'll bring it over here and show you before I go. The other board that I have here that was water damaged that's doing the same exact thing, we have removed everything on that I2C line. So chestnut on that one's gone, both backlight drivers on that one are gone, and I've replaced the PMIC and TriStar both twice, and it's still doing the same thing. So there's something else that's causing this. I've looked at the other I2C lines and I've done measurements. They all look okay. So I'm really not sure what's causing this. It's really annoying. Let's see. The other backlight driver is on an I2C line. What does it share? The other I2C line for the backlight driver is shared on the audio amplifier down here and the vibrate controller motor. So this IC and this IC are on that same I2C line as this driver. So maybe one of those is fucked up. I don't know. I'll check them out tomorrow though. I'm ready to go home, eat some sushi, so. But yeah, Paul, it is definitely easier with the iPhones than it is with the MacBook as far as moving the board around and using them and stuff. So, but anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will revisit these two boards tomorrow. We're pretty much caught up now. I think I've got one that came in from Anthony that I gotta do tomorrow, and then I've got one other mail-in that I have to do tomorrow. But for the most part, we're caught up, and I guess I will bang my head against a wall a little bit and see if I can figure it out. Lewis, I gotta send you a message. I got some questions on Open Broadcaster. I've been having problems with it lately. It crashes all the time, and I'm not sure if I've done something or what, but maybe you can help me out. If not, no big deal. I'll shoot you a message on Twitch or something if you're still on there. But I will see you all later, and everybody enjoy their night. Go have some fun, do something interesting. Later.